Hey guys, in last week's video I tried some of my subscribers' suggestions. What method would work best to engrave and etch metal by using a hobby K40 laser engraving machine? One of you suggested to use Plasti Dip Spray, a spray similar to spray paint, but that is peelable when dry, mostly used for car tuning purposes. Since last week I had this can standing around on my desk and I was thinking what else I could use it for, until last night where I stumbled onto Techmoan's video, a few ways to not really clean a vinyl record. Now in this video Techmoan used a record cleaning kit that used some kind of liquid that dries up to a rubbery peelable foil that can be pulled off the record in order to remove dust particles. However, this did not exactly work like it's supposed to, as first of all the liquid had more of a gel-like consistency. This makes it pretty hard and messy to cover a record entirely uneven. Now Techmoan, your video caused my brain to draw a direct connection between record cleaning and Plasti Dip Spray. As it is an aerosol, layering it on relatively even onto a vinyl record should be as simple as spray paint any other object. Unfortunately, I don't have a tri-micron record for making the same exact test, but if this works for a regular record, it would bring us a little step further. The idea is the same as the wood glue technique, but with the, in my opinion, important difference that spray covering a record with a peelable glue-like substance may have a better chance to bind most of the dust particles instead of spreading them around too much and pushing them further into the grooves by using a credit card or applicator, but that's only a theory. Plasti Dip Spray is still costly compared to wood glue, however way cheaper than the specific record cleaning kit shown in the video. So if it works, it could offer a easy and quick alternative that price-wise positions in between both methods. Now I got me an old record out of my collection. Nothing rare, nothing expensive, but a record that has suffered a lot in my youth. By the way, this is a white label, containing only 2 tracks per side. The grooves might be spreaded wider than a regular record. Also, I don't know if the process of making these is different and lead to a different result. But unfortunately, I don't have any records lying around that I want to risk of breaking or making them unusable with this experiment. So I hope you understand. If it works, I will probably try it out onto some of my collectibles. But for now, I call this an experiment only. Let's have a quick listen how it sounds. Now, I hope this did not trigger any copyright claim, but you clearly can hear in what state this record is. I also tried to snap some macro pictures here, where you can clearly see all the particles and dust. It pretty much looks like a war zone. As I don't have any protection discs for the label and I want to make sure not ripping it off when pulling off the rubber-like skin, I cut it out to wooden discs with my K40 laser, just wide enough to cover the entire midsection of the record. I apply 3 coats of Plasti Dip Spray in a 15-minute interval to build up an even thick layer. Estimating that it uses around 20 milliliters per side, a 325 milliliter can would last for around 8 records, and for a price of about €13 or 11 pounds, it could be a relatively cheap and clean alternative to recover your old beloved LPs from the 70s, costing you around €1.60 per record. So I had this experiment dried up for about 45 minutes. All in all, this procedure took around 1.5 hours, but I could have treated both sides in the same time. The Plasti Dip layer needs to be thick enough to pull it off later on. So with the third and last layer, I made sure the record is covered as thick as I won't see the groove anymore. When the Plasti Dip dries up due to the vaporization of the chemicals, the groove will reappear. I use a small plastic pry tool to get things started. After I loosened the coating on one spot, it simply pulls off like a skin. In case it does not come off as simple, apply another layer, but keep in mind that this is an ongoing process, so I would not wait overnight for thickening the existing coating, but apply it as long as it still feels somehow rubbery. As you can see here in those two macro shots, the procedure got rid of a lot of dust and particles. I'm impressed. Now let's test if there is any noticeable difference in sound. Well, to my ears it sounds a little bit better, not as much as I hoped though. But considering that this is a pretty worn record, there is definitely an improvement. So to my conclusion of using Plasti Dip to clean records, I would say yes, it works. But as every technique of cleaning vinyl records, it depends on what causes the problem or the crackling. This procedure, to my opinion, removed 90% of the visible dust particles and hairs, but still there is some crackling in the background, so it's certainly not some sort of a wonder procedure, but I believe that in some cases it can definitely improve the playback quality. And regarding investing 40 quid for a cleaning set that is all messy and takes hours to dry, to me Plasti Dip definitely seems to be a better and cheaper solution. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me a comment how you clean your records. Until then, see ya!